The 1872 Lighthouse Keeper's Dwelling is the oldest brick building on St. Simon's Island and is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It was designed under the supervision of Chief U.S. Lighthouse Engineer Orlando Poe and built by noted architect Charles Cluskey. From 1872 until the 1950s, this building served as the home to resident lighthouse keepers and their families. Since 1975, the Coastal Georgia Historical Society has operated the dwelling as the St. Simon's Lighthouse Museum. In 2010, the Historical Society commissioned a conservation survey to assess the condition of the dwelling. The report confirmed the urgent need for restoration. After a successful capital campaign, including a $250,000 Georgia Department of Transportation grant, construction began on December 2, 2013. We were fortunate to have the original 1868 specifications preserved in our archives. The specifications were used throughout the project to recapture the keeper's dwelling's 19th century appearance.
We're here to build scaffold to gain access to the areas of work, mostly on the front and the rear. We have a pump jack system on the museum side because of the clearances.
Well, part of the project scope of work is to replace the existing roof and restore the original gutter system. This building up at the soffit had internal soffit gutter system, which historically was very common and also historically very problematic if they weren't maintained or cleaned out. We've revealed those original gutters. We know they are still there, but we will be restoring those gutters and putting a new wood shingle roof back on the building, which we know historically was what was on the building when it was constructed in the 1860s. Underneath, we're in the process of doing a few things. We've got the existing heating and air conditioning system coming out. In the process, we've discovered a small water leak, which we're addressing. And, you know, there's always little surprises and little quirks, but so far everything's going very smoothly. All right, it's January 23rd, and we have a number of different things happening here at the Lighthouse Keeper's Dwelling. We're up on the scaffolding looking at the roof. We're in the process of removing two different generations of roofing. We know from some of the graffiti that's been found, the bottommost layer of sheathing that you see here in place on the roof is original to the structure, and we did find graffiti dating it to 1876. On top of that, what has been removed is a rosin paper, which is fairly typical to find on roofs around the turn of the century, which certainly coincides with later graffiti we found on top of it from 1908. On top of the 1908 rosin paper was cedar shingles. We do have evidence that the original roof would have been cedar shingles. However, these are certainly second generation roof shingles. So working backwards for a second, 1870s build date, they would have put a wood roof on, and by the turn of the century, very little doubt they would have been ready to replace that roof. So the 1908 is in all likelihood when they replaced the original roof with the later shingles. So the intent here is to get back to the wood sheathing, repair the wood sheathing, and put on a new cedar shingle roof, much as we know would have originally been in place. So that will start to go on next week. Other items happening currently, all the cast iron window sills and lintels are being stripped of paint so that we can get down to a bare metal and repaint those elements based on paint analysis going back to authentic paint schemes. Other work that's happening is we've begun the process of removing inappropriate mortar from the bricks. The whole building during a previous repair campaign dating back nearly 20 years was repointed in a Portland mortar. This campaign does not call for removing all of the Portland, only the Portland cement that is miscolored, mismatched color-wise. On the interior, work is underway, new electrical rough-in, new heating and air conditioning rough-in, and we've commenced with plaster wall repairs as well.
So we are removing this staircase. We're removing the balusters, the handrails, and the newel posts. These were installed in the early 1970s, and we're going to go back with more of a period correct design. We've kind of loosened this handrail and are about to take it up. So, Dwayne, maybe if you want to hold right here so we can kind of pull up. They're just doweled into the stair treads, and they didn't use a whole lot of glue, so they should pop up with a little bit of force. There we go. And just kind of see the construction. You can see the dowels on the bottom, and they were just literally mortised into the holes. And these newel posts are going to take a little more effort because they're tenoned in to the stair treads, so I'm going to have to take the stair treads out to try to avoid cutting it, but we'll see. And they have hanging finials that go down into the ceiling below. We were hoping they were pieced together, but they're actually one piece, so it's going to be a little more difficult. So today was the first day of actually putting the shingles on the roof. We got a shipment of grade A, which are the best quality shingles you can get. They're red cedar. Most of them come from Oregon, Washington, out in the Northwest. And they're what's called perfection. So they're all cut on a saw. They're all the same size, the same shape, same thickness. The only thing that varies is the widths. They vary all the way from 3 inches to 8 inches. We're nailing them with nail guns, which is a new thing the last 5 or 6 years. They're coil nail guns, but they're stainless steel nails, which last the longest with these shingles. Before that, they'd use copper nails. Anything else will last only a couple of years in this environment. And we've been making good progress. Beautiful weather. Can't complain at all.
We are installing copper gutter it's actually a valley flashing to go under the shakes.
We are approximately 4 days away from completing the project, so we've got more than a handful of different things happening simultaneously. It's really the exciting part of the project, in my opinion. Currently, we've got the reconstruction of the staircase nearing completion. Really exciting. It's a staircase design based on the original specifications from the 1860s.
We had to do this radius corner here. And this piece here is actually all hand carved out of basically a big block of wood. It was carved to go down. All the stair parts, all the fittings, newel posts are either hand turned or hand shaped.
On the exterior here behind me right now, you're seeing the replacement porch roof, front porch roof going back on. The red metal roof that had been in place for many, many years was not historically appropriate, and what's going on now is a turn-coated metal roof with a hand-seamed standing seam on it. It will be painted red, as historically we know it had been, but this material is more authentic, and the way it is assembled and the profile and the visual aspects of it is more historically sympathetic. It's accurate, historically accurate. One of the other exciting things that's happened in the recent few days is the reinstallation of shutters. The shutters that had been on the building somewhat followed the original specifications in that the second floor shutters were louvered and the first floor shutters were paneled. The discovery of an early photograph, we were able to determine exactly what the panel profile should be, and these shutters have been modeled after that profile. So again, a return to a more authentic historic appearance. As far as projects go, this one really has been very smooth. No major unexpected problems at all, and we're just really happy to be at the point to watch it all come together.
Construction was completed on time and budget on April 2nd, 2014. The modern asphalt shingle roof was replaced with cedar shingle roofing, as described in the original specifications for the building. Built-in gutters, which had been roofed over, were revealed and repaired, and functional downspouts were installed. Deteriorated front porch decking and steps were reinforced, replaced, and painted, preserving the original decking where possible. Porch benches, removed at some point, were rebuilt based on 1868 specifications and historical photographs. Deteriorated modern wood shutters were replaced with custom-milled mahogany shutters, fabricated to match a circa 1895 photograph. 4 early 20th century shutters were restored and reinstalled. The historic design of the original staircase was recreated based on the 1868 specifications, as well as surviving examples in Great Lakes dwellings designed by Orlando Poe. The staircase had been removed around 1915 when the upstairs became a separate apartment for the assistant keeper, accessed by exterior stairs. The handrail, balusters, and newel posts had been carved and turned by hand in cherry wood. All plaster walls and woodwork were repaired and painted, and wood flooring was cleaned and waxed. Early beadboard showing fire damage was uncovered in the former kitchen. Wallboard was installed to cover and protect it, leaving an observation window as a document. New exhibits that present a comprehensive history of the area were installed on the first floor. The exhibits were designed and fabricated by the History Workshop based in Atlanta and Charleston. Period rooms interpreting the keeper's lifestyle were installed on the second floor. To ensure a proper introduction to our site, a new orientation video was produced, and a modern theater was created in the Heritage Center. Landscaping was enhanced, and the late 19th century oil house next to the dwelling was whitewashed to return it to its original appearance. The restoration project received a statewide award for excellence in restoration from the Georgia Trust for Historic Preservation. The new St. Simon's Lighthouse Museum was opened to the public on May 17, 2014, and we hope provides one of the best museum visitor experiences in the state.